Hey guys, it's Rowan from Study TV. Over the last couple of weeks or so, I've received a lot of emails from many of you asking predominantly one question. And the question is it too late for me to do well? I've got my marks back from my exams and I haven't done as well as I would have liked. So I thought I would dedicate this video to basically outlining a 3-step plan to basically help students who have done an exam and perhaps haven't done as well as they would like. So, what are the 3 steps? The first is to actually sit down and review. One of the fascinating things that I often find is that when a student gets an exam back and maybe doesn't do as well as they would like, they often actually don't sit down in a bit of quiet space and actually review and evaluate what they did and how it led to their performance. So there's 3 things you need to think about. The first is exam preparation. If you haven't done as well, actually sit down and evaluate, what did I do to prepare for this exam? Did I study effectively? Did I study with intensity? Did I actually study enough? Did I study the wrong things and why? It's important to identify these because if you don't deal with them and identify what you can do to improve, you're going to make similar mistakes in the next exam. And that's one thing that you need to avoid if you want to improve your academic performance. So, nice and simple, evaluate your exam preparation. Now the next thing you need to do is basically evaluate what you did the morning of the exam and the night before the exam. And this is again something that's easily overlooked, but the night before morning of the exam have a big impact on your psychological mind state when you're in the exam. Did you stress yourself out? So on the morning of the exam, did you change your habit? Did you not eat breakfast while you usually do, so you were hungry in the exam? Did you maybe hang around people and talk to people that stressed you out so that you didn't go in the exam feeling confident? The night before, did you have a late night? Did you lose sleep? Did you stress? Did you do too much study? Did you not enough study? What did you do? And evaluate how you can improve this in the next exam. The final thing is exam technique. What do you do in the exam? How did you manage your time? Did you run out of time? If so, why? And how can you better use your time in future exams? Is there a better strategy to approach the question? Should you do it chronologically, or perhaps should you do it based on difficulty of question? So sit down and evaluate this. Get a pen and paper out, do it now even, and actually write down the answers to these questions in relation to your last exam. And I think you'll be surprised at what you discover, because what it will give you is actually a really proven and really simple pathway to dramatically improving your exam performance in the future, because you now know what your problems are and generally what you need to do to improve them. Now the second step you need to do, once you've got an exam back and it isn't as good as you would like, is essentially to actually calculate how many marks you need to achieve in your next exam to achieve your total goal mark. Now this is a little bit complex and I'm going to include a whole bunch of information below this video to explain this, but essentially let's say that you've done 50% of your course and overall you've got 35 out of 50. So you've got another big exam coming up that's worth 50%. Well, let's say you've had a goal mark of 85%. You really wanted to achieve 85% in the exam. It's a nice and simple strategy, but what you do is essentially work out, well, how much do you need to achieve in your next exam to achieve this goal mark? And so at a really simple level, it's 85 minus 35 out of 50. Okay? And in this case, to achieve 85, it'll be fairly difficult because you'll need to do exceptionally well. This is where you can play around with your numbers to work out how you can maximize your performance as much as possible overall by performing extremely well in the next exam and setting yourself a goal. So please have a look at the instructions below. They're fairly detailed, but I recommend, if you haven't done as well, set yourself this exercise and work out exactly what marks you need to achieve in your next exam. Because what it will do is it'll give you a goal to strive for, which will hopefully motivate you to kick back in a gear. But secondly, and very importantly, it'll give you again a bit of a plan of attack, a bit of a pathway of what you need to do and what you need to achieve in the coming weeks or months until your next exam. Now, the final bit of advice and the third step I recommend that you do if you haven't done as well in an exam and you want to improve is to actually go through your paper and actually look at the feedback and read it, and then actually redo the questions. One of the things I often find is that students get the paper back, read through it and go, ugh, I did pretty horribly, and then throw it in a pile and don't actually use it and work with that feedback to improve. So my recommendation is this. It's simple. Once you get that paper, look at the feedback, get another pen and paper out or type it, and actually rewrite your response using the feedback. Because what that's going to do is it's going to really solidify in your mind the correct approach in the future for responding to a similar question. And so it's great practice, it's great exam prep for future exams, and it's exceptionally simple. So get your feedback and actually work on and redo your answers. So in summary, 3 quick steps. Sit down and review. Review your exam prep, your exam technique, and what you did the night before morning of the exam. Number 2, calculate your goal marks. Work out what you need to achieve in your next exam to bring your marks up to that goal that you have set yourself. And finally, if you've got feedback on the paper, actually use it and redo your questions using this feedback. The result will be, I think you'll find that you're going to have a nice clear pathway for you to follow, which I guarantee you will help you improve your performance in future exams. So, if you've enjoyed this video, please like it on Facebook, tweet it out, email it to your friends, spread the word. Secondly, subscribe for updates. We're going to be having hundreds more videos like this with either myself or top performing students sharing how they excelled academically at school. We send 3 to 4 updates out a week, so make sure you subscribe. And finally, if you have any comments or questions, just leave them in the comment box below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Until next time, cheers.